Good evening, investors. It's W from W Investing, and I'm just going to do a quick prediction for the month of May 2012. We're getting to the end of April, and a lot of people are asking me what they think about the future of the market. And, a lot of people say sell in May and go away, or, get out before the summer. At this point, we don't really know what's going to happen. We need some type of conviction in this area, as you see in the chart of the S&P 500 here. We have just been consolidating around the 50-day moving average. Now tomorrow we should end up higher solely because Apple blew out earnings after the bell. I was completely wrong, and I will admit that I was wrong. I thought there was no way Apple could produce a great quarter after AT&T and Verizon both said iPhone sales dropped. Apple still sold 35 million iPhones, huge profits, blew out earnings, over $12 a share. So it's going to open up about 600 right in this area tomorrow, and it'll be interesting to see what happens if it gets close to its 20-day moving average. But basically what that's going to do is that's going to push the S&P and especially the NASDAQ higher to open. Stock futures are already up significantly, especially with most tech markets. Global markets throughout the world are looking higher. I expect, we're going to see a big day on the NASDAQ just because Apple had such a blowout quarter. I honestly, up 40 points would not surprise me towards, the end of the trading day on April 25th. Looking at stock futures, as you can see here, this is the NASDAQ 100, not even the NASDAQ, and it's up 40 points already in futures. The Dow and S&P are both up a little bit, but the NASDAQ's going to see huge growth there. And you're going to see in Europe, there's just all green. I mean, the FTSE's up 330. The DAX is up 77. It'll be interesting to see how the European stocks do before the American markets open, the United States stock markets, but I expect this to happen. So this begs the question, what's going to happen in May? Well, we need to see if the NASDAQ can get back through this 3,000 level. If NASDAQ can push through the 3,000 level with conviction and volume, then we could see a much higher May. The last 5 days, the NASDAQ has been lower. We haven't seen that in quite some time. CNBC was talking about that quite a bit today. But I would truly like to see a push higher in heavy volume, buying of tech stocks, buying of the big names, the Apples, the Amazons, the Googles out there. If we see some heavy buying in those and we see some of the market leaders push higher, then we could have a very good May. If we get to this 50-day moving average or 20-day moving average and we just can't get through, then May maybe sell in May and go away, because we'll consolidate around the 50-day moving average, and it's going to take some major event to get us through that, which that major event might be just some consolidation for a month or two, and then as the summer wears on, we could see some investors come back in. That being said, let's see what happens at the end of April as far as the 50-day moving average on both the S&P and NASDAQ, and we'll get a better idea of what could happen in the month of May. If you have any comments or questions, make sure to post below. Maybe we can get a commentary going on to see what people think is going to happen. If you do like the video, please like it on YouTube.